So Made So Bad with Doc McKinney in Toronto, wrote it with my girl Myrna, and actually it was an idea that was started for the weekend, and we like finished it up, took the little tidbit that was there and finished it. And yeah, we were inspired by an outing that we had, a little field trip of the crew to a strip club, and I really love watching girls do their thing. I think it's so beautiful, and they're so strong on stage. Like, I've been taking pole dancing lessons, so I was inspired by that whole feeling, and I wanted a song that kind of felt like that, like it was ready to see some routines on poles and stuff. And the song is also about like making a premeditated decision, basically, to do something devious, and it's like that dark sensuality that pulses through the song. So Pedialyte is the hangover after the big night. I never say the word Pedialyte in the song, but I love songs like that, where it's, because we were thinking about like calling it the hangover anthem, and I'm like, nah, that feels kind of corny. So I remember that when like I was around college time, going through the School of Hard Knocks, that's where I graduated from. But people were saying like, oh, Pedialyte is the best cure for a hangover. So that's what the song is about. It's like, whoa, I kind of need to, like, I'm never gonna drink again. That was such a big night, that was crazy. What did I do? And it's funny, like there is kind of the dichotomy in the song, or the duality, I guess, because the melodies don't feel like what the lyrics are saying. Like the lyrics are like, I don't know, there's just the tension between the two. Yeah, I did that with Lido and Boy Matthew. Oh, Gold. So Noise Club, Kennedy, Joel James, Lido. This is kind of like about having a transcendent sexual experience, really. Just to keep it real, to be direct with it. And this song is just like, ooh, it's like a liquid dream, and like liquid gold, really. You're bringing it out of me, from my head to my toes. When it's like that, it's like that. I don't know what to say. My girl Lauren LaRue sent me this idea, and it was shortly after we had just like had a conversation over dinner about how we were both single, and we were really enjoying this time because we had both kind of been always in relationships and been like, you know, just wanted to figure out what it is that really makes us tick, and that, you know, set our boundaries and just be confident and comfortable on our own. So Lauren sent me this idea, and I was like, woo, this is just my anthem right now. So we finished it up together on FaceTime, and then I went to the studio and cut it. And I love this song. It's just so simple and makes me feel sexy, and it's just a bop. What can I say? Small Things, another one with Noise Club, amazing guys, and Carolyn Aylen, Brendan Ski. The song is about how, you know, after a breakup, you try to just keep it moving. At least I do. I mean, like, you know, try to compartmentalize and push things down and just like act as if everything's okay, because that's a way to cope. But you find yourself like running into these emotional landmines every once in a while, and they just trigger you into being like, oh, I'm not okay. Oh my God, I'm so sad. So that's what it's about. And it is about a relationship, but it's actually like, after I've had some distance from recording the song, like it could very much be about, you know, just someone who's not in your life anymore, whether they've passed or whether they're, you know, you've gone through a breakup, or whether, you know, you just drifted apart. Like it just really is kind of just those feelings welling up and just being triggered by something small. Lonely Hearts, another one with Doc McKinney and Lowell. It's a hard name to say, but I wrote it with my girl Lowell from Toronto. And this is kind of an extension of like Man, you know, but getting a little bit less into the like bravado and like, yeah, I'm cool, look at me. And more being like, it's not always easy to be alone. It's not always like ideal, and it's uncomfortable sometimes to have to sit with yourself. But at the end of the day, I've been on both sides of heartbreak, and I know that I need to be alone right now because I'm like, you know, I'm wrestling my insecurities and just trying to find myself, pretty much. To find yourself, sometimes you have to lose yourself. So it's an uncomfortable process, but that's what Lonely Hearts is about. Just saying, I'm choosing self-preservation and introspection over anything toxic that isn't really totally worth my while. Okay, Think About You is the first song that I ever made with Lito, and it was also the first time that we ever met. And I just came into the studio like, ah, woo, and the song kind of came out because I was just so in my feelings that day. I couldn't stop thinking about how I had like sabotaged a relationship, and I just couldn't forgive myself. And I was like, man, you know, even if I try to date somebody new eventually, I'm just gonna still think about this guy like he's the one that got away, you know. And I just had so much emotion tied up in that, and that's where the song came from. He was playing these chords that inspired me to feel comfortable to open up about it. And yeah, I don't know how to not be like grossly transparent, and this is an example of that. Okay, Comeback. So wrote this with my girl Lauren LaRue as well, and I think this might have been the first song that I had ever did with 30 Rock. We did a lot more songs actually in the time that we like worked together, and we have a lot more to come. But I was just feeling real frisky that day because it had been, a long time. I'd been like single and abstinent through the process of making this album, and my imagination was just going wild, and I was thinking about how intense it would be if I were to rekindle that flame with the guy that I had written a lot of the album about, like that was inspired by that relationship that I felt like I had messed up. And I was like, oh, imagine if we made a comeback. Imagine if we got back together, and how, the fireworks, blah, blah, blah. So that's what the song was about. And I was just talking my shit pretty much. And then I sent it to Tory Lanez. I felt like he would be a perfect fit if this was gonna be turned into a duet. And as I sent it to him, and he was like, oh, I'm definitely the guy for this. And I was like, bet, I knew it. And he sent back his verse, and I was like, did you just kill me on my own song? Like, did you just totally up the ante? And he did. Don't Talk Me Down. I wrote this with one of my best friends, Nat Dunn, and Lito produced it. And we wrote it at, what's that called? Shangri-La at Rick Rubin's place in Malibu. So that was such a magical experience, being in that studio and sitting down at that piano. And it was kind of like my final song to this person that I had been in an on-again, off-again relationship with for a long time. And I just realized that I had to stand up and be like, I can't do this back and forth anymore. I know that I'm responsible for a lot of the back and forth, but we always end up coming, back, and one of us, and please don't tell me I'm wrong for feeling the way that I feel. Like, I don't think we're meant to be together. And don't gaslight me, kind of, is what the song is saying. But at the end, I do have a line where I'm like, don't talk me down, don't fill my head with doubt, blah, 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 because I might take you back. Because I'm still human, and I'm still, old habits die hard. But this song was like a plea to like, just please make this as easy as possible for me, because walking away isn't always easy.